The spring semester has officially begun.
And it seems to be off to a cold start. Stay tuned, TrojanVision News starts now.
From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network and Troy campuses around the world, this is TrojanVision News.
Hello and welcome to TrojanVision News for January 8th, 2015. I'm Angel Norris.
And I'm Jordan Nelson. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Troy University students are back again for the spring semester for the school year, even though some students are more excited than others. Xavier Harris goes out and gets some students' thoughts on the return to school.
It's about that time again for late night cramming, long study nights, and all-day library visits. Troy University students resumed class from their winter break on Wednesday, and some students let us know exactly how they felt about the return.
It's really nice to be back in school. I really missed it. I did enjoy going home. However, Troy University is a new home to me, so it's really fun to go back to our classes and see our friends. I do enjoy going home. I think college definitely helps you appreciate what it is to be with family and friends. However, it is different because college really teaches you to be independent and form really strong bonds with your friends. And at home, you kind of have to go back to the parent and child relationship. So sometimes it's a hard transition, but it's only for 3 or 4 weeks, so it's not so bad.
One student explains her pros and cons about going back to school from this winter break.
The ups and downs about coming back to school is you're meeting new teachers, you got a whole new class, so you have to meet your new classmates. And, just getting back on the clock of waking up in the morning and make sure you get to your classes on time, basically. I actually love the winter time, so it really wasn't that bad. I got up, got bundled up, and headed on out the door, headed to class.
And what is one student's favorite semester of this year?
I'd probably prefer the spring semester because the weather gets hotter rather than colder. Also, you're getting prepared for the summer, and of course you have spring break, so that's super fun. And usually more people are preparing for graduation, so more people are having more gatherings, you can see more family.
Xavier Harris, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Students don't have to wait long for their first break from school. They will get off for Martin Luther King Day on January 19th.
Troy experienced some surprisingly low temperatures today, and I hit the quad to get students' reactions and some helpful hints to combat the weather. It looks like the new semester brought new colder temperatures, and many Troy University students found themselves unprepared.
It took me by surprise when I woke up this morning and it was 15 degrees outside.
Well, I feel numb because I can't really feel my face. It's freezing out here. Wasn't expecting it to be as cold as it was, even though that's what the Weather Channel said. Student
Healthcare Center worker Manning Russell offers a few tips to keep students from getting sick.
I just think it's important that the students remember, try not to spend a whole lot of time outside in weather this cold, and especially if you do spend a lot of time outside in this cold weather, be sure to not have any exposed skin or just a very limited amount of exposed skin, because it is cold enough now that you can get frostbite and have damage to other parts of your body because the weather is so cold.
And what are students doing to protect themselves from this frigid air?
Well, since I have football practice in the morning, I try to bundle up the night before and I try to turn my heater on, probably about 75. So that way it'll heat my room up and that way it won't freeze my roommates. I try to have the biggest coat I can find in my closet and hopefully put on a lot of layers and have my head covered.
Just trying to stay warm, try to make sure I keep my hands clean, of course, with it being still flu season, and try not to make sure I'm exposed to the cold too long.
No face, it's very cold. I can't sleep, and in the night, wear more clothes. Yeah, but I don't know why today is so cold.
The cold weather is expected to continue with temperatures forecast for the low 20s this evening. We'll have more on the local forecast and what's going on in the rest of the country later in the show. One big New Year's tradition is making a resolution, but not everyone keeps them.
It's officially 1 week into the new year, so I went out to check in with some students to see if they were taking advantage of this fresh start. As 2015 starts, many people are trying to start out fresh. With the new year comes many New Year's resolutions. Here's how some Troy students want to start out the new year.
Study more, make good grades, and be a good college student.
My New Year's resolution is to make at least a 3.0 GPA, being as I didn't have the greatest GPA last semester, so I'm trying to bring that up.
Higher grade.
We are only 2 days into a new semester, and the library is already filling up. Many students are striving to make school a priority and achieve better grades this year, but other students have different resolutions.
My New Year's resolution is to start hopefully working out and eating healthier. We all have a problem with that, especially after Christmas break, gaining a couple of pounds, but hopefully I can hit the gym and start eating a better diet.
My New Year's resolution is to get better grades this year and improve my study habits.
Make better grades.
Even though we aren't very far into the new year, some students are getting a head start on their resolutions. Here's how these students are attaining their goals.
I went to all my classes so far. Only went to the bar once.
Well, the gym part, not so much. I'm working my way up to that, but I have been eating healthier. I had an apple and yogurt for lunch today, so I'm trying, I guess.
Yeah, and I feel like I got a really good course load, a lot of really good professors this semester that's going to help me get my GPA up good, so I feel like it'll happen.
According to the USA.gov, the most popular New Year's resolution for most people is to lose weight.
And now taking a look at news from around the state, the Alabama Human Trafficking Task Force plans to raise awareness of human trafficking and to educate the public on how to identify potential victims. Organizers say the task force is asking the mayors of Huntsville, Madison, Tuscaloosa, Montgomery, Birmingham, and Mobile to sign proclamations tomorrow in observance of National Human Trafficking Awareness Month.
Authorities are considering whether to file charges against a teenager suspected of leaving her newborn daughter outside in the cold. Jefferson County Sheriff officials say they received a call Tuesday night after residents found an infant dressed in a short-sleeved outfit and wrapped in a towel in their yard. The temperature was about 40 degrees at the time.
The state health department has kicked off the 9th year of Scale Back Alabama. Thousands of participants lost more than 1 million pounds in the first 8 years. Officials say those 18 or older can participate in teams of 2. Still to come on Trojan Vision News, the men's basketball team had their first conference win this season. Clay Yeager gives us more when he joins us in sports.
And the extreme cold weather kept some kids home from school today. More after the break.
Frigid temperatures are taking grip across the country. I'm Allison Harmon in New York City with that story coming up.
Mom, can we get some ice cream? Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
This is Dr. Jack Hawkins. He's the Chancellor of Troy University and a veteran. One of his proudest achievements is serving those who serve and helping active duty military and veterans complete degrees that will build great careers. That's the warrior spirit, and it's alive and well at Troy University. Feel it at troy.edu/spirit.
Now, the latest in Trojan sports on Trojan Vision News.
The Troy basketball team played at home over the break this past Monday against a tough UT Arlington team and came out on top with the score being 71-66. Although the game was a hard-fought win, top players such as freshman Wesley Person and junior Chris Bilbo had a career night in points. Person led the Trojans in scoring with 31 points as he reached his career high for the second straight game. Bilbo also had a career best at his scored 17 points on the night while shooting 6 of 14 from the floor and gaining 3 assists. The Trojans played without leading scorer Musa Abdul-Alim, and assistant Mike Woolley said he was proud of the team and how well they performed that night.
We actually won that game with Musa Abdul-Alim, one of our 2 leading scorers, not playing because he was sick. So to have a sick top scorer out and still win, get your first win is helpful to your confidence and helpful, to your ability for your squad to feel like they can go and play well even if they're missing a certain player on any given night.
The Trojans will now carry their winning momentum against Georgia State on Saturday in Atlanta. And the women's basketball team also came out with a win against UT Arlington this past week on Monday, outscoring the Mavericks 70-63. The Trojans' defense was unstoppable as they had 11 blocks on the night to give them the win and breaking UT Arlington's 5-game winning streak. The Mavericks ended the game as the nation's 4th best scoring defense, allowing only 49 points per game. However, the Trojans passed that mark as they became the 3rd team to score 70 points on the Mavericks. UT Arlington was held off by the Trojans as the Mavericks only had 33% shooting on the night. Junior guard Ashley Beverly took over the Trojans' offense as she scored her team high of 17 points, with 14 of them coming from the second half. Head coach Shannon Ribby says that her Trojans played well against a tough team to beat.
It was huge because they're a very well-rounded team. They have a 6'5" post player. They also have shooters. They also have people who can dribble, drive, penetrate. So we have beat teams that were good at one or two of those aspects, but I would say this is the first time we beat a team that was that solid with all three aspects, and we were able to cover all those things. And to do that job on defense and to be able to come back and play well on offense, it shows a lot of maturity.
The Trojans will also take on Georgia State this Saturday in Atlanta. The track and field team will begin their season tomorrow in the UAB Blazer Invitational. Last year in the Invitational, the Trojans were tough competition as athletes such as Dallas Worthy made program history as a freshman. She finished in the top 10 in the program history for the 400-meter race with a time of 59.40 seconds. Joy Osendorf took 19th overall in the mile run, while Keaton Wallace took 14th in the 5,000-meter run with a time of 20 minutes and 45 seconds. The Trojans will see if they can repeat that success this weekend in Birmingham. The Troy football season may be over. However, one Troy football player has the honor of strapping on his shoulder pads one more time as a collegiate athlete. Graduating offensive lineman Terrence Jones has been selected to play in the Medal of Honor Bowl in Charleston, South Carolina. The Medal of Honor Bowl is an all-star game that features college football drafts, players to be selected in the NFL draft. Jones earned his second team All-South Conference honors this past season and did not allow a single sack. Jones finished his last season with 16.5 knockdown blocks and finished his time at Troy with 44 career starts. The game will be hosted at Haygood Stadium on the campus of the Citadel as kickoff is set for 1:30 p.m. on January 10th and will be televised on NBC Sports.